Hey, he's Ryan Moore. I'm Sam Weiderhaft, and this is another episode of Behind the Seams, presented by RipTydz, Oceanfront Grill, and Rooftop Bar. I go counterclockwise. I go left. So counterclockwise. Hey, I had to do the math in my head.
It's not math.
I get up there, swing out of my shoes. Buddy turns around. He's laughing so hard he can't watch.
She made it herself, and I had it on my head. Thing probably weighed about 15 pounds, and I probably weighed about 50 pounds. So.
All right, we're back at RipTydz. We got our drinks. We got the ocean, beach behind us. It's finally starting to warm up a little bit. I mean, it's about 75 degrees out here in Myrtle Beach and more. We just finished the only 2-week homestand of the season. 13 games in 13 days. Recovering from that, but very fun 2 weeks with a lot of baseball and just a great fan experience for everybody.
Yeah, 12 openings in 13 days with 13 actual games is a lot. But like you said, the sun's out, the weather's better. It was a great homestand, but I think I can speak for most everybody. It's good to have that in the rearview mirror opposed to looking at that coming up.
Good to have a break now. Team's on the road right now. Moore's going with the Corona. I have a Caribbean something, but it tastes like
Caribbean chill.
Caribbean chill. Anytime you have the opportunity to have a beachy drink at the beach, I take it.
A beachy beer is just as good for me.
It tastes fantastic.
The bartenders here are fantastic.
They are.
Every drink you get here is delicious.
So it was 13 games in 13 days over the span of 2 weeks. A lot of big moments. We had another grand slam from Christian Hernandez. The Pelicans already have 3 grand slams this season. That doubleheader on Saturday, Nick Hull came out and threw 5 innings with 8 strikeouts, no hits allowed. That was a really fun moment. What was your favorite moment from the past 2 weeks being at home?
The final out on Sunday. No.
Understandable.
No, I had my kids' t-ball team out there, so they were down there in their jerseys and doing the high five tunnel and just geeking out with giving them high fives, and can't believe that they're down there. And when those smoke cannons go off, the reaction on those 4 or 5-year-olds' faces, and it was just pure entertainment for me. Off the field, that was probably the highlight for me. The Grand Slams got to rank up. What's the record for the amount of Grand Slams in one season for the Pelicans?
Oh, I'll have to go back and look at that. But I mean, I can tell you that last year we had 3 Grand Slams in the whole year, all hit by Kevin Alcantara. And this year we've had 3 Grand Slams already in the first month and a half by 3 different players.
Unfortunately, we didn't catch one more win at home. Buddy Bailey just secured his 2,300th win. That's a hard number to say.
It's also a big number.
It's a big number. So unfortunately that didn't happen at home, but we did send a nice little gift package hidden away, and they gave it to him last night, so I know that they were all celebrating, having a good time. But what a milestone. Most active winning manager, 230 some odd away from being overall. So if he's got another 3-4 seasons in him, that he could be at the top.
He is inching closer. He's also been on this show before, so go check out that episode in the off-season series when Buddy joined Behind the Seams. But just a great guy. We're going to actually talk about him a little bit later in this show. But big congratulations to Buddy Bailey on 2,300. When we talk about him, it's not even going to be about baseball. So
okay,
let's get into some questions as we get into the jar. Look at that. Right when we were talking about him. Both of you have golfed with Buddy Bailey. Can you share any stories from the golf course? Moore, I'll have you go first.
Buddy's got one-liners for every situation on the golf course.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say what they are. I wouldn't do them justice. But Buddy's a hoot, and he can hit the ball.
He's a good golfer.
No matter who he's playing with, he's going to have a good time, and the people that are around him are going to have a good time. Yeah. And he doesn't get to play nearly as often as one may think a manager would get to play, but he's got no rust.
Hits it long, hits it straight, which is something that I did not do when I golfed with him. This was back in September. Season just ended. Shortest tee shot, so everyone's watching me, and I get up to the ball. I haven't whiffed in a long time. I get up there, swing out of my shoes. Completely missed the ball. Buddy turns around. He's laughing so hard he can't watch. He turns around, he's dying. After our round, I get a text from Buddy. It says, hey, meet me at this driving range tomorrow. I can fix your swing. So we get out to the driving range that next day. We spent about 2 hours there, and I tell you what, I was hitting the ball better than I ever have.
And that's the type of guy that Buddy is. He probably sat there and was like, if I just had 30 minutes with him, I could fix it. And then, 2 hours later, that's a lot of golf shots in 2 hours. We got to get out soon then.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right.
I need to knock the rust off a little bit, but
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to it. Another question. Okay, so we just started talking about, we're done with that 2-week stretch of games. It's the only 2-week stretch of games, but we do have a nine-game homestand. But what do either of you do to prepare personally or professionally for a long stretch of games?
Always having a real good meal the night before. You got to make sure you have good nutrition coming in.
Yeah.
Hydrating is important, but I also think you need to do some things for yourself. And as you know, I've gotten older and have a family now. It's making sure to budget time and budget activities and things that the kids will have fun doing, because being gone for 2 weeks is not just tough on me. It's tough on my wife. The kids miss us or miss me. I'm not sure if she misses me, but the kids seem to. So I don't know. It's kind of like that holistic. Get your mind and body right. Check the forecast. Another guest on the show in the past, Ed Piotrowski, with two weeks of games, we're going to be sending him a little care package of thanks to say, hey, you're an honorary member of our staff now. You put in many hours over the last 2 weeks helping us out, but being able to have that information ready and knowing, do we have to do anything to the field in preparation of the homestand, put the tarp out, put extra conditioner down, that's more on the business or work side of it. But what about you?
Just taking time out during the day. I've started doing this new thing where at about noon.
I've
seen you.
I saw you.
At noon, I'll go out to the pond, and just outside right field of Pelicans ballpark, out in the parking lot, and go and walk about 4 or 5 laps. Put the AirPods in, hang out for like 30, 45 minutes, get some sun, and kind of ease the mind. And then Monday has turned into a beach day for me, so I try and go every Monday, head out to Surfside Beach. But the pond walk has kind of been a new installation to the routine. Do
you go clockwise, counterclockwise, or do you mix it up?
I go counterclockwise. I go left. So counterclockwise. Hey, I had to do the math in my head.
It's not math.
The geography. Okay, back into the jar. Here we go. Okay, so this will be a night coming up next homestand. Do either of you have a favorite Halloween costume you remember wearing? Because we do have Halloween night on June 2nd.
I did have to look it up. I did get that question in advance, and I'm not even sure it's the correct name, but the closest I could find is the McDonald's Moon Man. This had to be mid to late 80s. McDonald's had a campaign. It was probably something about like staying open late, drive-thrus open up late, and they had this character. It wasn't Ronald McDonald, but his head was shaped like a moon. And my mom was very artistic and could kind of put stuff together. She made it herself, and I had it on my head. Thing probably weighed about 15 pounds, and I probably weighed about 50 pounds. So,
I was gonna say, what age were you here?
It's like I said, somewhere in the mid to late 80s. So that would have put me somewhere around 6 to 8, I would think, somewhere in that range. If you asked my mom what her most memorable Halloween costume of mine, she would say when I was a mummy. But at that point in time, it created so much heat. I had like a hot flash, and then I never went out for trick-or-treating. I was hugging the toilet for the entire.
I've always been really lazy with Halloween costumes. Throw a baseball jersey on, be a baseball player. I've never gone as a broadcaster, although that would be really easy. I might do that for this year. I guess we're gonna have it at the ballpark. I was Batman one year, had a full-on, full-body Batman costume. My parents definitely have a picture of that.
What do you plan on wearing in the booth next week?
That's what I don't know.
Can I pick it?
Yes.
Awesome.
Please do.
All right.
Put some good thought into it and let me know.
I certainly will.
Well, what are you going to be?
Maybe we'll have a themed outfit. I don't know yet, but
yeah.
I'm going to concentrate on you first, and then I'll worry about my costume.
Think about mine, and then we'll show it off in the broadcast booth. It'll be great. We'll think of something.
You're not getting away easy on that one.
No, I know. I'm kind of scared now. But hey, it's going to get the front office talking.
That's a good thing about Myrtle Beach is we have Halloween shops that are open all year round. So,
okay, this is a question for me, unless you actually could take this too more because you've been on the broadcast. But can Sam take us through? Can Sam take us through his day-to-day prep for a broadcast? Well, when you did some play-by-play.
Well, yeah, you got called out onto the field, so Kristen and I got thrown in the booth
with
zero prep. And
I gave you a score sheet.
That literally was the prep. As we walked in, here's the score sheet.
It's the first time. I've been working in minor league baseball since 2008, and outside of one half inning of being interviewed, I've not been up here. So fans, forgive us. We're
going to have some fun.
Ooh, nice line drive right back up to the pitcher into center field. We've got Verdugo on second, at Howard at first base. So 2 on, 2 out.
Your job's tough.
Well, it's definitely it's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Most of my days spent researching, looking at stats, finding. My favorite thing is finding out stories about players. Just going online and because I know the Pelicans really well at this point. I go out to batting practice and talk with them every day. That's kind of the highlight of my day is going down for batting practice because I get to talk to the players and the coaches and all that and kind of get to know them a little bit better. But I always like to tell stories about the other teams. I haven't told those before. And my dad always used to say, listen to Vince Scully, which is obviously one of the most legendary names in the entire business. But listen to Vince Scully because when you listen to him, you'll find out more information about the opposing team than you will with that team's broadcasters because he just knows so much about each player. So that's kind of what I try and do as far as my preparation. So when you get on the broadcast next, that's what I'll expect. But what can fans expect for that next homestand and the ones to come here in June?
In addition to your Halloween costume and our Halloween night with fireworks on June 2nd, the next day, the Saturday, with our mental health awareness night, where we have special jerseys that will be auctioned off and donated to charities or nonprofits that work in that space. It's always a good night to end the stigma. Talking about mental health is important. And to put that on the forefront that your mental health is as important, if not more, than your physical health. And that's a great night where we have some really great partners that help out.
It's for a great cause, but also the jerseys this year look awesome.
And then for that homestand rolls off, we have a week off, and then we come back the second week of June. And that's really when the summer starts for us. That's when we start to see a ton of tourists in the ballpark, and the crowds are a mix of locals and people visiting. So we've got that first Friday night at the request of 2 kids who shall not be named. We're going to have our Nickelodeon Paw Patrol night.
There we go.
We're going to have a cast of characters out there that Friday, fireworks. And then we have our Cancer Survivors night, which is always one of the more impactful, emotional nights at the ballpark. There's always emotional heartstrings that come with that night, but it is such an important night. Major League Baseball, minor league baseball has been involved in this for many years. As I mentioned, that's really the start to the summer for us. And when it's the summer, we shoot fireworks on Sundays too. So we'll end every homestand in the summer with a great fireworks show. Munnerlyn Pyro does a great job. Kids run the bases after the game, and then we'll have a week off, and I think we come back for 9, including the 4th of July series or July 3rd series, and have a good time.
That red, white, and blue weekend is always my favorite of the whole week or of the whole year, just because a ton of fans at the ballpark. It's a really fun environment. Great uniforms. We got the hats that debuted last year, and the jerseys that debuted a couple of years ago, and just a really fun night. And then fireworks every single night of that red, white, and blue weekend.
Our shows are good. These are going to be good.
These are going to be next level fireworks shows. We will be back on Marquee. We got one game coming up next week, Road to Wrigley, and then a solo Marquee game in that next homestand, really in the middle of June. So that will be very exciting to show off the Cubs prospects to Cubs fans over in the Chicago area. Like you said, Moore, summer is quickly approaching, and seems like we've already had a ton of memories here in this kind of end of spring session, but summer is it's going to be a great one this year.
Yeah, 21 games in on the home side, playing at home. Still got a ton of games left, so if you're from here or from afar, plan a trip, make it down here. We're having a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Had a lot of fun here at RipTydz, and this was another episode of Behind the Scenes presented by RipTydz Oceanfront Grill and Rooftop Bar. We'll see you next time.